What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today we're finally going to be breaking down the Battle Rage field upgrade in Modern Warfare 2, because a lot of people seem to have many questions about it, myself included, and I just wanted to test and share all of the different attributes of this field upgrade. And diving right in, the description for Battle Rage says that it's an experimental stimulant that gives you an adrenaline rush, and while it's active, your health will regenerate quickly, tactical equipment is resisted, and tactical sprint is constantly refreshed. So those are going to be the main areas we focus on, although there are a few other unique characteristics that aren't mentioned in the description that we'll be covering toward the end of the video. Let's start this off with health regeneration though. And we'll just dive straight into a side-by-side here. On the left, we don't have Battle Rage. On the right, we do have Battle Rage. I'm being shot by the exact same gun that deals 94 damage, and you can see the real-time HP value at the top of the screen. As you probably just noticed, Battle Rage allows you to get back to full health significantly faster than if you aren't using Battle Rage. The total time that it takes from the moment you take damage to the moment you're back up to full health is about 4 times faster while using Battle Rage. That is a ridiculous difference in the amount of time it takes to heal. Although I did break this down a little bit deeper. The first thing that Battle Rage does is it significantly cuts down the healing delay, so the time before you start the healing process. Without Battle Rage, this is roughly 5.1 seconds, whereas with Battle Rage, it's now just 1 second. So more than 5 times faster with Battle Rage equipped. And then with the time to heal, from the moment you start the healing process to the moment you're at 100 health, again, this is when you're down to 6 health, it takes 2.2 seconds without Battle Rage and just 0.75 seconds with Battle Rage. So about 3 times faster in that case. So unlike the Quick Fix perk, which only activates when you're on an objective or get a kill, and it only helps with the healing delay, not the healing time, Battle Rage helps in both of these areas by a very significant margin. Now I did want to take that a step further. I just wanted to see what would happen if the enemy is using the frangible ammunition, which is the one that delays the healing process. And while Battle Rage isn't a full-on counter to frangible ammunition, it still does allow you to heal up significantly faster than if you weren't using Battle Rage at that time. We're still able to heal up roughly twice as fast, but it does turn out Frangible is actually a pretty decent counter to Battle Rage because you're not able to instantly start that healing process, which you are able to do when the enemy isn't using Frangible. So there we go, that shows the effect that Battle Rage has on your health regeneration, and that is a very significant effect. In fact, I did want to show something that you might notice while shooting some players. Since you start that healing process in roughly 1 second after taking damage, if you're shooting an enemy player that's using Battle Rage, and for whatever reason there's a delay in the damage that you're dealing of more than 1 second, it's going to end up taking you extra shots to kill that player. So maybe you put a few shots into a guy, he makes it around a corner, but you push him immediately, although immediately is slightly more than 1 second, then it's going to take you extra shots to kill that player. Same thing goes if you deal some damage with your primary weapon, but you run out of ammo, you have to swap to your secondary. By the time you perform those actions, it may have been greater than 1 second, and if so, it's going to take you extra shots to kill that player. And I do feel like this can lead to at least some of the situations where people feel like it's taking more shots to kill an enemy than they should within that given range and the gun that they're using. So there we go, that's going to wrap it up for the health regeneration side of things when we're talking about the Battle Rage field upgrade. Now let's move on to tactical equipment, and the first thing here is the flashbang, and we'll just look at the side-by-side. As you can see there, it definitely very noticeably cuts down on the amount of time that you're affected by a flashbang. In fact, this appears to be identical to the effect that the Battle Hardened perk has, and you may notice the Battle Hardened hit indicator will actually pop up for you at least some of the time while using Battle Rage, and I am not using the Battle Hardened perk at all in any of these clips. So I suspect what's going on here is while you have this Battle Rage field upgrade active, it literally just gives you the Battle Hardened perk built in for the duration of this effect. So right there, I've shown you flashbangs as well as stun grenades. Now let's have a look at the shock stick, and unfortunately, if you get stuck by that shock stick, it's gonna hit you just as hard as if you're not using the Battle Rage field upgrade. And another thing is, with the gas grenades, just like with Battle Hardened equipped, you no longer have the big visual distortion effect if you're using Battle Rage and enter the radius of a gas grenade. Also, it doesn't impact your ability to aim down sight at all. However, it still does impact your ability to sprint. You will not be able to sprint within the radius of a gas grenade with or without the Battle Rage field upgrade. And then finally, you do get the Battle Hardened effect against the snapshot grenade. You will not appear through walls with a snapshot grenade as long as Battle Rage is active. However, the enemy will get a Battle Hardened hit marker against you. So that covers the second effect that's stated in the description for Battle Rage. Now let's cover the third effect, which is your tactical sprint is constantly replenished. And in simpler terms, this just means that you can tac sprint infinitely as long as Battle Rage is active. It doesn't just make the cooldown shorter or anything between tac sprints, you can literally be tac sprinting the entire time. And that can be incredibly useful, especially for opening routes in game modes like Search and Destroy. And with that, that wraps it up for the breakdown of all of the stated characteristics of the Battle Rage field upgrade. Now let's talk about some of the things that aren't specifically mentioned. The first thing is the duration that this is active for, and it turns out the base duration is 15 seconds, just like the Dead Silence field upgrade. However, unlike Dead Silence, getting a kill doesn't fully reset this timer back to 0 and allow you to keep this active constantly as you chain kills together. Having said that though, there is actually a slight benefit to getting kills, and it appears for every kill that you get, you'll extend the timer on your Battle Rage by about 1.5 seconds per kill. And if you look really closely on the bottom right of the screen, you can actually see that it jumps up a little bit for every kill that you get. That's a 1.5 second increase to the timer. So you can technically stretch out the duration at least a little bit with Battle Rage as long as you're staying active and getting kills, but it's nowhere near Dead Silence. You likely won't be able to keep this strung together for too long. You just might be able to add a few seconds here or there. Now finally, one last thing that I wanted to point out with Battle Rage that isn't specifically mentioned, but it's something that you notice pretty quickly when you activate this, and it's one of the reasons that I've avoided using Battle Rage. This is the fact that while it's active, it actually somewhat limits your visibility in-game. Not only does it add a general graininess to the image, it also gives you a bit of tunnel vision. While the center of your screen is still relatively clear while Battle Rage is active, there's that little bit of extra graininess, but overall your visibility's fine. If you pay really close attention toward the edges of the screen, things get really blurry and hard to see there, and you could very easily miss a stationary enemy that's in your peripheral vision. So that is a pretty noticeable downside to be aware of if you are using Battle Rage. You'll definitely be getting a bit more tunnel vision while it's active, and I do think this is significant enough that it could get you killed in a wide variety of situations that you otherwise wouldn't be killed in. So while this field upgrade has a ton of amazing upsides, especially when it comes to health regeneration, you really do have to be aware of this key downside as well. And overall, when it comes to my thoughts on this field upgrade, now that I've done the testing and see how significant the impact is, especially when it comes to that health regeneration, I definitely see myself starting to use this a little bit more often, at least on certain class setups where I'm going to be extremely aggressive, like with shotguns or SMGs, for instance. But outside of those really aggressive playstyles, I'll probably end up sticking with something else. Now, of course, those are just my thoughts on the Battle Rage field upgrade, and I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Now that you guys have seen exactly how the Battle Rage field upgrade works, what are your thoughts on this? Do you see yourself using this more often, less often, or maybe just not at all? Just let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.